a boss gonna take a cut to guarantee the whole team eat. You know what I'm saying? Like every time. You feel me? Every time.
I met my best self today. She told me success come with patience. Discipline is for the strong, the weak too weak-minded to gain. It used to smoke away the pain. Gas I'm smoking on is strong.
What's up, you guys? It's Jamia here at TrillTalk Podcast, where we keep it true to ourselves and real with you about all things life and business. And I'm here with my guy, Manny215, event producer, speaker, serial entrepreneur, community activist, engager, the master connector, and more. Manny, how are you doing today?
Good, man. Thanks for the introduction, man. I feel good after that one.
Look, y'all, Manny was like, don't play with me. Don't have me on this podcast talking about community activist, change maker. Like, nah, man, I'm a businessman, and I love that. I feel like a lot of times we don't put respect on our names when we care about impact.
Yeah, facts.
A lot of times we think impact is free. Impact is only nonprofits.
Mm-hmm.
And if you charge anything or if you accept money, now it's a scam.
You know
now it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, whoo.
I always say, like, I ain't the boy that's gonna tell you I ain't in it for the money, because I am. It take money to do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, I'll be honest about that, because I feel like us as a people, like, we don't be honest about the business conversation that goes on with this stuff. Like, we just try to sound morally sound and be like, it ain't about the money, it's about the kids, it's about the community. All right, well, I ain't living underneath a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a real family that I take care of. I got some aspirations in life that I want to see accomplished outside of the work that I do within the community. So we just got to be honest about the conversation.
Yeah, you know, I think that is an issue of accountability that we face in our community. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, fact.
That, you know what I'm saying, we could have
we can get in
Instagram
it. We can get in
Live type time. You feel me? They need that talk. My first question comes right into that, right? You said we don't live under a bridge, right? I think a lot of us have been in a struggle story.
Mm-hmm.
And some of us may have seen on Instagram, you shared your story about a year ago, you know, sleeping on a mattress and maybe a new apartment. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, first of all, like, I was sleeping on the floor in a bando. Like, I was going through like a real hard financial time. Like, and my man, he just so happened to have a crib he was fixing up. Like, the room in there, that was like the only room that was like fixed up. The rest of the crib is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doing his thing with it. Shout out to my man, Yusuf, Philo Solutions. But yeah, man, that it comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you eating what you kill out this joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you figuring it out. Like, I ain't clocking nowhere, and like, I don't know when. You know what I'm saying? And I know, like, I'm not saying that to brag or anything, but it's just the real reality when we talk about entrepreneurship, because a lot of people have made entrepreneurship like glamorized, like it's just a highlight reel, and as soon as you do it, you taking trips and you doing all of that. But like, when you really in it, like, you know what I'm saying, you might got a $1.5 million move that you probably gonna walk away with 150 from. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
That 1 point is you good with spending 1.4 and keeping just a bean for yourself. This is how you really had impact with your company, and you grow it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I had to share that with the people, because it's a lot of people that watch me and be inspired by what it is that I do. I wanted to show them, like, man, I go through stuff just like y'all. I ain't all the way there yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a good position. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, those times do come.
You know, it's funny that you say this. So, very similar story for myself, right? I came out of the suburbs, though. Like, I grew up out in Huntington Valley, a little bit out of Philly. My dad went to prison. We lost everything. House went on foreclosure, but I'm trapping my t-shirts. Like, everybody like, yo, she got it like that. I'm like, yo, I'm going to sleep like on the floor in somebody's basement right now. Like, I don't know who couch I'm gonna be on tonight. Like, I might fuck around and be in the car. And it drove my hustle further. But what I learned is it drove me to become somebody who didn't want to spend that extra dollar and take less, because I was in such a survival state for so long. And it wasn't until maybe I was 20, I'm 23 now, where I was like, yo, you keep shortchanging yourself. You're putting yourself in a position where you can't impact as many people or even like grow as far as you want to grow. So what you just said is so so true. And I think we need to start understanding as a culture, like, yo, pay that price.
Yeah.
Not only just pay that price, but like sometimes you eat last. When you
Yeah.
are a leader, the leader
100%.
eats last every single time. If you eat it first, you're not leading nobody.
A boss gonna take a cut to guarantee the whole team eat. You know what I'm saying? Like every time. You feel me? Every time. And it's just like, you know, entrepreneurship is a thing of like, it's just problem solving all day. So, you know, you got so many different ways to like, if we not exercising our brain and really thinking critically, and you know, within our people we got a lot of problem finders, but we don't have a lot of problem solvers. You know what I'm saying? So when you're in problem solving mode, it could be your personal finances, with your business going through, woo. You're gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Especially you ain't clocking in nowhere. You got nothing but time. It's on you.
Yeah.
Like, utilize your time. You know what I'm saying? And that's like the biggest thing I think, like, for me, that like helped me like be what, like 4 years of not clocking in nowhere, is like I'm real strategic with my time and how I spend my money.
I think a big concern for our people is like, yo, what do I use my time on? Like, we see so many people smoking all day, drinking all day, just being outside. But I think a big part of the issue is they just don't know where to spend their time or what to spend their time on. In combination with this idea that instant gratification truly exists. But what would you tell them they should spend their time on? How can you spend your time to elevate?
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a being, like, I done got in a spot where it's like, I just know how my year gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm living like my business is my lifestyle. Me being a CEO, that's my lifestyle, and that's what it has grown to be. And I know that, all right, from February to September into August, I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm in the mix of the scuffle. We got this programming that's leading right into our tour, and then from tour right into Power Community that's going. Then that October, November, December, January, that's when I get to recharge. You know what I'm saying? And every time during that time, I just like to go through a reset period. I'm in it right now, just like holding myself accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I gotta watch what I eat, because, you know, I'm living fast. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm boom, boom, boom. I'm moving here. My discipline, you know, is taking a shot. It's challenge. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm using the time like to just sit down and say like, all right, but you need to get mind, body, soul, spirit, all that together. And then as far as like specifically time, we gotta look at it and say like, all right, it's not about staying up all night. Those days happen, right?
Yeah.
But you know, we've been fed the joint, only the rich sleep. You tripping. I'm gonna try to get my, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to get my little 8 in.
Yeah. You feel me?
How I sleep, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my 8 in regardless what it look like. But all right, it's about working a productive 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? 8 to 10 efficiency. So like, if I know like, all right, between this time and that time, I'm gonna make time for the gym. I'm gonna make time with feeding my brain. I'm gonna read something, watch a podcast like this, get some game. You know what I'm saying? Then I know, all right, these is my meeting times. This is the time I gotta put into the brand. Even when, you know, I haven't been really pushing the 215 brand on like the clothing, like selling clothes for a couple years, but even when I was all the way in on that, I had specific time when I'm making clothes. Like, this is my making clothes time. And then after that, I'm going outside and I'm selling it during these times. And then I got a time where I got to go shop and buy inventory. It got to become the lifestyle. And that's how we become efficient with our time. But when we trying to dibble and dab, I always tell people, you got to quit your job. You know what I'm saying? That's
We're gonna have to debate on this one. We might have to debate on this one.
You gotta quit the job. And I'm not saying like, you know, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. And the reason why I say that is like, to really get to a point where it's like, yo, I'm really living this. Like, I'm really living my brand. You gotta look at it. I looked at it with the streets, right? I remember I was leaving the streets alone, and I'm contemplating. I'm like, man, I could still you know,
This.
sell this and then do that. I said, dang, the time that I'm putting into selling this, I could be figuring that out. So I had to take that sacrifice. All right, dang. All right, I'm gonna sacrifice on this. I ain't gonna make as much money that I'm making right now. But this was what 6, 7 years ago to get to the point of what everybody is seeing today.
Yeah.
That perseverance. You get what I'm saying? So, um, definitely like I ain't saying just here this joint, quit your job. Definitely, if you got responsibilities, save your money and get to a point where it's like you can afford, all right, I got X amount of dollars in a cut. I ain't been spending for a couple months, maybe a year. I done stayed down, plotted. Now at the end of the year, I know I got enough money to pay my bills for 6, 8, maybe 10 months to a year, and I can grind.
You know, it's so funny, yo. You really a Philly man. Like, you a Philly boy. He talking about plotted. Like, yo, he really plotting on the game plan. He ain't thinking about it. Ain't no strategic thought. He said, I plotted on that joint.
Yeah, like,
but
gotta plot, man. You ain't scheming, you ain't dreaming.
I love that you cleaned that up at the end because you know I was going to debate with you. And I was going to debate with you because my mindset was just that in the beginning. Like, I was like, I'm not clocking in. I'm not getting a job. I don't care what predicament I get in. I'm going to grind this out. And I realized there's a difference between a hustler / entrepreneur and a business owner. And I think that's also a phase that you're in now, right? Where you've done Naya Face Resources, right? And we'll talk about that a little bit too. But it's gone from just like the community activist Manny and t-shirt trapping Manny to like, okay, let me create this structured business. I need funds. I need these resources. I need personnel, right? And I think what happens a lot is, like you said, entrepreneurship is glamorized. Entrepreneurship is quick. Entrepreneurship is I accidentally came up with an idea and I could just make a check. I just came up with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had
let me go
stamp that on the joint. Yeah,
be
like,
outside.
Yeah, like that's,
we all go through that phase though.
We do.
Go through it.
But the truth is there's only but so far you get there. There's a ceiling on that.
100%.
A structured business looks totally different, and a lot of people can't make that jump from entrepreneurship to a businessman or a businesswoman. So I think a job for me provides security. It really depends on who you are and what you need at the moment. Like you said, if you got responsibilities, or even if you need the funding behind your business to start up, you might be a business that you can't really do a lot of in-person marketing, right? You got to do a lot of social media. You got to do a lot of ads, or maybe you got to pay to get into events, and it's $10,000-$15,000. You probably should get that job. Like, don't be outside begging. You feel me? Like, them t-shirts, you gonna be trying to stack t-shirts for a little minute, trying to make that 15 racks pay for that eat. Like, but I think it depends on your circumstance. But I also think a job can be super advantageous when we talk about starting a real business, right? I just had Haitian CEO, shout out to him.
Shout out to bro, man.
On the podcast. And you know, your income is really important for getting loans and 100%. Getting grants and getting credit and all of these different things. So you can fast track your process if you keep that job, but you have that strategy that you plotted in mind. Like if you really got a plan. And what humbled me is I lost my last Airbnb. Went 15 racks in debt off that Airbnb. The end, right? Damn, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and it got to a point where I was messed up. What the heck, y'all? See?
Yeah, see? We catching it. We catching it.
But it got to a point where I ended up having to live in my Airbnb and Airbnb at the same time. So it was like, I got to get out of here, get my stuff out of here, clean it up, whoop, and then come back in there. Like, I'm hustling. I'm like, yo, lost my car, got into an accident. Everything was gone. I'm stuck. My last resort was like...
The grind, right? That's the stuff they don't tell us about.
I done lived in my truck, my car so many times, people don't even know. Like, my background right now, if you look at my screensaver, that's me sleeping in my truck with my dog. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? It really gets like that. But the truth is, when you give yourself stability, you can think with such a clearer mind too.
1,000%.
It gives you, like you said, sometimes you get challenged with discipline, being in hustle mode. I learned about myself. I need my 8 hours of rest. I don't care what you calling me for. I don't care who you are. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna tell you what time I can make it. And you're gonna respect my time because my health is more important than anything. But long story short, I'm saying all of this to say, like, I think if you have a plan in mind, anything can work for you. Job or no job. but you got to be ready to go get it and
Yeah.
endure whatever pain you got to endure
You gotta
to get it.
accept what come with it, man. I remember like even during that time when I was going through that situation, man. Shout out to Fetty Vigils, man. Y'all know
My
if y'all
guy.
see me, y'all see him. I remember one day we were just walking. You know what I'm saying? Like we walking from like Point Breeze to like the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like one of them joints, like you know how you see on the gram and all. They be like, "What's the furthest you ever walk?" Like we on one of them missions. You know what I'm saying? And me and bro having a real conversation. I'm like, "Dang, bro, you wanna know what's crazy?" I said, "It's gonna be hard either way. We just gotta pick our
Which
hardship."
hard?
You know what I'm saying? I said, "We can go get a job right now and get some financial stability, but we sacrificing the dream because now certain time that we can't just get up and go here and make this move and do that because we got attend to that responsibility. Or we could walk this joint out like we is now, you know what I'm saying? And take the upside. Cause what we strategizing for, what we planning for, should it work, we good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's more so like the mentality with everything, even in like being a full-time entrepreneur is like I said, not just with my time, but with my funds. Like I may get a 5-figure check. But you know what I'm doing, that 5-figure check? I'm paying my rent off for 4 to 6 months.
Facts.
So that I got that mental stability. I'm not worrying about month to month how I'm going to get this money. I can think clearly. I can just breathe and be the CEO that I need to be. Facts. And take these risks in a more, comfortable manner. Whereas one thing that we do is we upgrade our lifestyle before we upgrade our business, our finances. You feel me? We want to go get a 5-figure check and then we going to go buy that trip that's not going to produce no money coming back or no progress for our brand.
It's so crazy you say that. This is a debate I have even in my personal life, right? Like a lot of people that's around me, they're not on that. You feel me? And I had to, you got to sometimes give people an arm's length, right? You love them, give them arm's length. But that was a debate like, yo, you always invest in your money and you say you can't do. It's like, no, I could do if I chose to do. I could choose to be in Turks and Caicos 3 times a year. You feel me? I could choose. But like them cameras is not cheap. All this equipment, that probably.
Yo, I was thinking about this the other night, man. Like I was thinking about like how like I was just pondering on the tour and like for me, like I don't talk about how much money I made. I like to talk about how much money I done paid out. Cause for me, I don't have a financial goal. You know what I'm saying? I got an impact goal. Like for me, success is over 1,000 people being employed across my companies. Mm-hmm. I know if every month I'm sending out 1,000 checks, I got some bread. You know what I'm saying? But I was sitting there thinking about, I'm like, yo, I really could have cooked the route out this joint, like with this tour. Like, I really could have like half the people that was involved, not even half, like 99% of the people that was involved with the tour would have did it anyway just off our relationship. Yep. And it's for the kids. I could have, it's for the kids. Like, it's for the, you know what I'm saying? I could have did all that. But I said, like I could have had artists just perform for free. This promotion, this exposure for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we get probably just like that
probably just paid the cameraman to record for content and just been up on stage with a clicker with no host and just doing everything else with the tour. But it's like, no, I know what I want. I know how it gotta look for me to be able to get to that next step. Yeah. I could have did that and kept all this money for myself. You feel me? But this is the mindset of an entrepreneur. Like we gotta understand that especially in entrepreneurship, that giving don't decrease us in finances. It really increases us. Because the money that I put into the business, all I'm going to do is take that, get that proof of concept, get that end result, put it into a pitch deck, put a bow on it, kiss it,
wash, rinse, repeat,
and go shop that joint and go get more. You know what I'm saying? To go do it over and over again. So it's like, that's like a real big part of it too. Like just understand like how to spend our money and just having the mindset to understand like this is what I'm sacrificing to get here.
Yeah. You know one thing though, I do want to add because I think this is an important piece of information you just gave, right? Because a lot of people we talked about earlier, like they like to shortchange, or you be selfish with your money. I'm sure it says it in the Quran, or it talks about it in the Quran, like it talks about it in the Bible. Like if you try to keep everything to yourself, you basically blocking your own blessings. Like you gotta
100%.
give to others. You gotta flow. You basically gotta flow.
It's literally a sin in Islam to not give to the
Yep.
needy.
Yep.
Like you're gonna be really held accountable if a poor person come knock on your window and ask you for something.
And you're
Like
like, no.
literally when a poor person asks me for something, or somebody just whatever, like I feel tested. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And you gotta have that discernment, because people, they'll just do it because you got a good heart. And if I know you're not really in need,
Yeah, that's different.
that's
It's not the
different. I
same.
know you just not out here applying, so that's different. But if you like really needy, and I know you got your situation probably not obvious to the people, it's not always about a person that's on the street. It may be somebody who situation just not obvious
Yo,
to the
like I
people, and
hit you
you
like,
know it.
yo, Manny, I'm gonna keep it a bean right now. I don't got nowhere to go, bro.
Yeah.
Like, like, is it cool? Like, you got anywhere, and you decline that call? That's like, oh,
Yeah.
you pick up that call, like the blessings flow, and people remember
Every
stuff
time,
too. Like
every time.
that's a fact.
You never know. Never know.
But I was also going to add there too something that I had to learn for myself. Right, I was bad at accepting blessings from other people. When
Talk
people would
about
say
it.
they'll do
That's
something
real.
free for
That's
me,
real.
I'd be like, I'm gonna pay you. No, I'm arguing with you about you trying to give me a blessing or pass something on to me.
Yeah.
It happened. Shout out Coach Joe, that's my guy.
Shout out Coach Joe. I don't know Coach Joe, but shout out to him.
He's a thorough connect too.
Yeah.
Coach Joe, one day I'm like, yo, my phone is off, Coach Joe. So if you was calling me, like this the issue, whatever, phone bill was like $400 behind. Like he like, I got $250 for you. And I'm like, no, Coach Joe, I'm about to handle it. I'm about to get a check later today anyway. Like, you don't gotta worry about it. He's like, yo, I said I got $250 for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm good. I appreciate it, but pass that on to somebody else. And he messaged me back like, yo, like that made me feel a little bit disappointed. You feel me? Like I'm trying to give you a blessing and you trying to make me pass something on. I didn't care if you used it for the phone bill or not. Whatever you need.
No, that's real.
And I just been learning, like, when somebody says they're gonna bless you, a lot of times it's not because they have to. It's just that on their heart and in their spirit, they're convicted to bless you just the same way as if somebody called me and I answer and I say, yeah, I got you. I'm genuinely saying it. So I've learned to take things that are free now.
No, fact.
I've learned to have the discernment to see whether free comes with a stipulation though. When I work with these larger companies, they taking them freebies. They bartering services.
Yeah,
you feel me? They not everybody not getting paid, or they negotiating your price down like crazy as much as they can, right? And it's like, I think with our people, we have two extremes. Either I don't want to pay people, or I want to be paid the exact dollar that I feel like I deserve.
Yep.
And I don't have no wiggle room for you. I don't care. It's just that. So long story short, I'm just saying, even with yourself and just with myself, I feel like you might be in that phase of that lesson where it's like, yo, accept your blessings too, bro. It don't always have to come in the form of you helping somebody. But it's people out here that's just genuinely trying to help you. If they said they could perform for free, let them perform for free. They doing it because they want to, not because you told them they got to.
I want to build on that, man. Like, so the first joint, like accepting a blessing, man. Shout out to my dog, Malik Jackson. He got the boxing gym down 2nd Street.
Shout out Malik.
Shout out to big bro, man. He'll probably never talk about this story for real, but and a lot of people really don't know. But when I was going through that time, bro came through. We were just talking, like, and matter of fact, he called me and he was like, yo, is you good? And I was like, I like paused a little bit, and I guess he caught it. You know what I'm saying? You know, my pride kicked in. I was like, yeah, I'm good. No, he was like, so he caught it and he was like, no, bro, when I ask you, are you good? I'm asking about your well-being. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm asking about you. Are you good? So, you know, we began to talk and I started letting him know, like, man, this is what I'm going through, but I'm strong. You feel me? So he like, bro came through and he just blessed my pocket. You know, it would sound like, Lil Hun, take care of little bro. Make sure you use this, do something with little bro while you figuring this out. You know what I'm saying? His main joint was making sure little bro don't feel what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And then it was another little situation. I had to get a suit for something. He took care of my suit, got me a suit and all that. You feel me? And it was like that moment, right? cause he taught me something. He said, he was like, you know, if I ask you, are you good? And you not good, but you say that you good, you just always gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? But if I ask you good and you not good and you tell me you good anyway, he was like, you cheating me out of a chance to be a friend. And I was like, dang. Because it made me really, like in that moment, like he stripped my pride from me. You feel me? He stripped that joint. And then it made me look at other people. I'm like, all right, let me be vulnerable about this with people. And it made me look and see like, dang, I opened up. I let you know what was going on. You faded. You,
Facts.
I said,
Facts.
matter of fact, our bond got stronger.
Yep.
Dang. You feel me? And sometimes we be so
scared.
Yeah, you feel me? Like our pride being away was like, if we just be vulnerable, like everybody go through stuff. So we just be vulnerable. We get a chance to really look at people with a real lens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying go out here and throw yourself a pity party and be all that. Like, but you know, it's certain people that you know you should be able to open up to about certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and be like, no, like I'm going through this, and just see how they move. Cause some people, they might not give you no money. You may not give, but they may just check on you all the time. They may just be an ear. All of that counts. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we definitely gotta be open to receiving blessing. And that was a moment that bro did for me that really made me look at it like, damn, I gotta be open to receiving those blessings.
You know, it's crazy. It's a level of selfishness to it too.
Yeah.
When you're not willing to be authentic with yourself, and I've like I said, I'm getting to a point where it's like, all right, bro, you gotta chill. Like, come on now, because like he said, you cheating him out of an opportunity to be a friend. So now, if you feel like you're not close with people, people don't care about you, people not really checking in, it's not because of them, it's because you not giving them a chance.
Good. You too always good.
Too
every
cool,
time.
you too straight, you too strong, you too like, all right, thorough boy. I don't need, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you don't go through nothing, huh? Like, all right, yo.
No, and then the second joint too, man, about the joint that we do gotta understand, that bartering joint, and that's something that, you know, I do heavily. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Fetty Vigil, shout out to Fly Bear.
Yeah.
They know, like, you know, bro, we might got an event or something. Bro, I can't pay you to come shoot this recap, take these pictures at this event. It ain't a paid opportunity, but these the people that when I get paid, they get paid. You know what I'm saying? They first in line. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when if it's coming through my budget, like specifically me, not, you know, in your face resources, and I got a client and they can only afford this. Yeah, they get those opportunities as well. But when it's coming through me, I'm gonna give you your number.
Head up, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I know. Everybody. That's everybody.
That was
everybody
gonna be my question.
Naya.
I was gonna say, who is Naya? Who is Naya?
Everybody say Naya. It's in your face resources. In your face, because our motto is, when you sit down with us, we in your face with all the resources you need.
No, that was in my face. You threw that ish right in my face. I'm like, yo, I keep reading it too. I'm like, Naya. Okay,
yo,
Naya.
everybody say that. Like, it ain't not one person that just said in your face resources.
That's been messing my head up. I swear, before you came here today, I'm like, Naya, maybe he got a daughter.
He got
like,
a daughter.
Like,
who Naya? My mom, daughter, son.
Damn. All right, in your face.
We got that out the way,
right?
Yeah. But I was saying, like, you know, for me, like, that's like my way of bartering. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I do a lot of moving around. I need content. I ain't got no budget to pay y'all every time I gotta go do something to do. But when it's there, it's there. Like, I don't know the last time I got paid and somebody else around me and get paid. Like, I can't even. And I'm happy I'm at that point because it's in line with my goal. I want to pay out 1,000 people across my companies. So if I'm not actively doing that now, when you know what I'm saying,
you get there,
how do I think I'm a just automatically make that? Because it's a discipline. Like, you really looking at numbers and be like, I could cut hair, I could do that. Man, in fact, I can spin you like that. You know what I'm saying?
And greed is one heck of a drug, man.
It's a crazy.
And when you look at them big numbers like that, that really challenges you
For
too.
Sure.
If you look at 150 racks. Right now, I'm sleeping in my car. This 150 racks could buy me a house.
100%.
Paid off. This 150 racks could I could put all of that into my business.
And
Forget the
definitely
people
take
though.
care of yourself. I don't want the viewers to get that misconstrued. Take care of what you gotta take care of, but just have that balance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And like
facts.
one of the things I always like ask myself, like, and excuse me, not myself, but one thing I always ask God, like when I'm praying for certain stuff, cause sometimes you just gotta thank God for the opportunity. Like the fact that, dang, like this is a reality. I can really like a lot of people say they want $1 million, but when you can really like, dang, this look like it really can smack.
What? When you
like,
sit there and you even fathom that it's not a dream, it's on a piece of paper that you pitched to
you
a
feel,
person that's
you
sitting
get what I'm
right here.
saying? And they feeling the joint. It's like, yo, you just gotta thank God for that opportunity. Cause a lot of people can't see that for themselves. But like when I'm asked for certain stuff, I also like ask God to give me like the faith. You get what I'm saying? Like in the righteousness in my heart to do the right things with the funds. Cause you know I done been in positions where I done had money, I done had opportunities, stuff that I ain't really even like when I was like selling drugs and stuff like that. Like it wasn't a lot of people really having numbers like I was having. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tease, man. We was running around them $25 eighths, 2014, 2015 and all that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just because the number was right. But if I didn't know the importance of spreading the wealth and sharing the wealth, you know what I'm saying? I was so focused on like how can I keep more and get to this level to do that, but not understand that I could have did that at a small level and that would have gave a bigger effect.
Yeah, and it's crazy you say that. My mentors, again, every episode I talk about them. I
Shout
love
out to the
y'all.
mentors, man.
Yep. Shout out Miss D, Mr. Meat, Lovepreneur podcast and program. Like they everything. But one thing that they always talk about is build your business from the start, how you want it to look in the end. Build out what your employees will look like. You're structuring your business.
100%.
Build out what different branches you want. Build out how much you want to get paid. Like, and not even how much you want to get paid because you want to pay yourself first. But because when you think about your pricing for your items, you got to think about, okay, if I sell 500 of these, I'm gonna be able to pay my employees that 1,000. Woo woo. I'm gonna be able to pay me that. Woo woo.
So like, that the business pay for itself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we gotta price our stuff at a thing where it's like you included inside of this. Yes. Like when I'm pitching budgets, so I'm talking to other people. My team is in that budget. Like they're in mine with that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just
add them on. Like
I got this and then I'm thinking about you. No, you already included in this joint because I'm already including and I trust in you to be able to execute on a work that need to be done. So now I can move in these rooms confidently and say like, yeah, yo, we got a team of X amount of people that can take this on. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. I completely agree. Now tell me a little bit about your background. Like, I think a lot of people ask the generic question, like, what's your background? How's your upbringing? But more so like, what's your background that directly got you to in your face resources?
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a bean. Is Manny215, like just rapping. You feel me? Like it. I look at it like I feel like I'm super blessed because I experienced fame at an early age. Like I'm 17. I can barely go to school without people staring. Yo, ain't you Manny215? Yo, I love you. We down South Street. That's all I'm getting. Yo, ain't you Manny? Yo, relationship this. Yo, I mess with that. So I experienced that early in life. So to rebrand myself and where I'm at now, I think it helped me tremendously just to be able to carry myself. Because now the fame that I get is like, it don't even compare to that. Yeah. Like it's literally like people stop their car in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? Holding up traffic like, yo, thank you. Like the love just be crazy. Like not even just in Philly. Like I was just in Chicago and somebody from Cincinnati was there and was like, yo, bro, like I love your movement. And I follow him, I checked the DM. He been writing me for like months. I'm like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, that prep me, but like my approach to things really came from the fact that I was 17, you know, 18 doing numbers on SoundCloud, stuff like that. That's had me in conversations of like, hottest in the city amongst people like Core, a P&B Rock. Nasty Nah was doing his thing. Uzi was coming. Like, I'm in those conversations, right? But I ain't had nobody say like, yo, bro, you need to go shoot a video for this song.
Yeah.
Cause I got a hundred plus song catalog, 5 projects and probably 3 videos. I ain't had nobody tell me like, yo, you need to go shoot a video for this. Better yet, yo, you got downloads turned on your SoundCloud. So that couple million that you got is not even a real depiction of the stream that you got, because people are downloading your music and listening to it X amount of times outside of the platform. You need to turn that off and just let people come stream so that you got a real number. I ain't had nobody, this stuff that I learned after the fact. You know what I'm saying? And once I learned it and I sat down, I said like, dang, like I want to monetize this joint. And I came across certain words like market and brand and stuff like that. I'm like, you know, I already know how to do this. I just didn't know it was a word to it. I ain't know this was a way that I could make money through doing what I already know how to do. And I said, man, I already got a bar and a song cut deep. I was like, I never wanted to be Kobe. I need parts of the Lakers. I need revenue. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody see Kobe, but I want parts of all 41 games that's coming through the parking lot, all of that, because again, my only goal in getting money is to be able to serve and, you know, impact people with the funds. You know what I'm saying? So I need more than just being a boy in the spotlight. So now I find way more. I be trying to duck the light, but I find value in, you know, playing behind the scenes as well as equally as being in the light, because I understand just like what I symbolize to people and what I mean to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just what I represent. And I think that's important as well.
You know what? Manny don't be trying to duck no light. What he be doing though is he definitely gonna bring some folks in the light with him. I definitely see that. Like,
For
and
sure.
he came on the podcast and I mentioned 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, for sure.
Man be outside. I don't know what he talking about. Like, everywhere I go, I be like, yo, Manny, what's up? Yo,
No,
like,
for sure. So this the first time we really sat down. Like, every time we see each other, we outside.
Yeah, you know, facts. Like,
we
yo, you
outside every
you
time.
around. Even Fly too. Like, we be everywhere.
Yeah.
We, like, I don't know, but I think when you keep passing by certain people, you know where their mind is at. You know where they're headed to, and it's time to sometimes start working and really have these types of conversations.
And
so,
I think it's important amongst us and our generation to recognize those people and build as well, because, you know, it's the whole networking up versus networking across joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know who's going to be what, who they know, who's going to be what in 5-10 years. You know what I'm saying? That you done build a relationship with, and now this person is, you know, pushing 40, but they a decision maker at this company that's not even a major company right now today. You know what I'm saying? But will be tomorrow.
Facts.
So it's important, man. Like, treat people right and just, you know, be humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try my best, like, to not move like in a way that's like,
I'm a little better than
like just that just rub people the wrong way. Like, I don't even like I be a little bit in my head about like being on time about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even like today, like, because I don't want people to think, oh, Manny looking at me this, so he gonna show up when he want. No, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna communicate, let you know, look, got stuck in traffic, like this going on.
Facts.
This my ETA. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a big lesson in business, but also just in relationships. It's just communication.
Yeah, 1000%.
Like, I just was telling the sound engineer, Mike. Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike.
At Audio Boy Studios.
Shout out to Zeke.
But yeah, he was just communicating like, oh, like the sound might have went out, right?
Yeah.
That's been an issue before. Like, multiple times, you know, some people be scared to speak up. So it's like, I don't know whether to tell you that the sound cut out or whether the video cut out or whatever.
Yeah.
But those little things are much appreciated because it makes the biggest difference.
Yeah.
In small projects, big deals, and even just in relationships.
And it allow us time to pivot. You know what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes what we think is a big mistake or a big issue is really small. You know what I'm saying? But it becomes big when it's unaddressed.
Yep, definitely. We just faced it on one of the first podcasts back. And that's why I did it with the young lady, because like, she was like, all right, cool, it's whatever. If it's shaky, it's the first time back, we good. But the video wasn't rolling for like 2 minutes, cut off, and that was cool. That wasn't that big of a deal, right? But then the sound wasn't rolling for the whole hour and a half. So we done talk good conversation
It's
too.
that this that entrepreneur joint, man.
What?
Shout out to Really the Most podcast, man.
Facts.
Like
My
even being
goddamn.
behind the scenes, like with them, like that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, man, like this is stuff that they not going to tell you about entrepreneurship.
No.
They just not going to tell you about that.
And you know, some of it comes down to pride for not telling you, but a lot of it just comes down to like, hey, bro, we don't even got time to tell you how much it's like. This is just an everyday thing. We gonna run into some stuff like.
And I think we're gonna talk about. I think like the entrepreneurship joint has been watered down in a way because a lot of people have confused like content creators with courses attached to their joint as like a sole entrepreneurship. Like you doing business but it's levels to it, right? And this is why I say that we can look at a barber or a woman who does hair, a hairstylist. They are entrepreneurs in their own right. They can say, I'm doing hair, I'm cutting at this time, pay this deposit, I'm not gonna be here, don't bring your kids. Or they can say all that.
Rules.
They could do that. But then you have the barber or the hairstylist that cut in the shop, but they also getting paid off of each chair.
Yeah.
And they own a shop. But then you got the entrepreneur who don't even cut hair or do hair, but they own 5 to 10 different shops from here to Atlanta, and they making money off all that joint. It's a different ball game.
Then what you got? You got the person that just own the land on the building.
That just own the land. You know what I'm saying?
It's so many levels.
It's so many different. It's so many different levels, and I think this no shot at people that sell courses and all that. Cause I got a lot of folks that do it, but I think a lot of people have seen that, right? Because think that that's just it. Like this is what entrepreneurship is. I'm gonna just do this, get some views, and if I put a product or a course to it, I'm gonna be living like them. It's like that's not everybody route, and that's not everybody drawing.
Half the stuff, even like in courses, like it's a fine line, right? It's not to say that courses are not true and applicable. There's a lot of people, like, again, Haitian CEO.
Shout out to their CEO. Shout out to DS Boom, man. Runway, all of them.
Yeah, all of them. Like, they have courses that are impactful and they can really change your life if you, they're valuable if you actually apply
it. Facts.
But the service is another part of it.
The course is the convenience of not doing the work yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the information that is just information that's out there is free.
You can learn it. You can find it. And look for yourself.
But everybody don't want to do that, and that's cool. Like I'm also good with that too. Sometimes I spend my money for convenience. Like I'm gonna do this because I just don't feel like doing it. That's cool. But like you said, and a lot of them, they get the slack. It's like, oh, they doing all this just to sell you something. At the end, is like, because that's the service. That's for me to, if you want me to actually spend my time to do this work, like the real work for you to get the knowledge, the bag and all that. Yeah, like it's gonna cost.
And what people don't realize is the real value in that type of stuff is you can pass so many mistakes.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times I talked to mentors and it was like, no, don't do that because you ain't. Or like, yo, when I did this happened. I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm glad I didn't put my money into XYZ. Airbnb, case in point. Started the Airbnb in Philadelphia. The law changed in like 2021. That's how I got in a bad situation. When the law changed, it was like, damn, I can't rent this joint out no more. Now I'm trying to stay in here, run it under the table or something. I don't know what to do. You feel me? And it started jumping too. Like I had, what's their name? Oh my gosh. The young boys that be the D30 in them. Like they running it out for a video shoot. Like
shout out to the goats, man.
Facts. My guy Aunt Brown, you always around, always plugging me in. You see, it's all love. But it started jumping. Like I started having people in that joint. Like, and it was like, all right, cool. Then the law changed. I'm like, yo, like what I'm supposed to do? I think they wanted like 11 racks for me to get a license to do something. And then I had to pay some other stuff. The rent was already 2 racks. Like it was just like, no, it's not going to be profitable anymore.
Yeah.
But had I known when to exit sooner, I wouldn't have been $15,000 in
Gotta
debt.
have an exit plan, man.
Shoot.
Gotta have an exit plan.
And so now, having had my mentors, I have learned the lesson of having an exit plan.
Yeah.
Through courses, through mentorship, through experience. But I want to dive deeper into your company now, right? In your face resources. What do you provide to people? I want you to give them a clear understanding on your business and how they may be able to work with you.
Yo, like I love that you pivoted there because, you know, I was about to touch on like what you just spoke on about like people not respecting game, right? And so in your face resources, like you know, I'm the lead strategic advisor. So what people basically pay me for, they pay me for the expertise of my advice. They pay me for those shortcuts. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we in the corporate space and, you know, talking with them, they done spent, and not just in the corporate space, even on a local level with local businesses, you know, people done spent thousands of dollars with people that think that they getting like marketing services or something like that, and then they don't get those results, right? So when people come to me, I got a proven track record of understanding how to make things move and what's going to be what. Let's run it down. Top Dog Law. Y'all see that? That's my work. You know what I'm saying? 2019, shout out to my cousin Boone. I met Top through my cousin. They was staying at the same little apartment joint. And, you know, that's how I was starting marketing. He was like, yeah, I'm an accident lawyer. And he told me, I'm like, all right, that sounds cool. Like, I ain't never heard nothing like that before. Let's sit down. Man, my business partner, we go sit down with him at the time. And, you know, we basically get in the game like, look, bro, like, what you doing not funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to do white comedy to appeal to black people. It's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? You need to go get with a Southside Jew, a Funny Boy Quill, a Tiz 215, a Rich Dollars. Let them be the forefront of your marketing, and you just run the company. The rest history, right? The billboards, you know what I'm saying? Hold the money bag up the phone. That come through in your face resources. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Immortal Visions. We shot that joint there. You know what I'm saying? Fish shot it. We went to the studio with CJ and shot it there. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like behind the scenes, I know how to see a project through from point A to point Z and everything that need to, like who needs to be involved with what and what they need to be doing to make this work efficiently. You know what I'm saying? And then just within that, you know what I'm saying? You know, a company, they might have a budget for $10,000, you know what I'm saying, for marketing services. Y'all gonna sit down with me. We gonna meet. I'm gonna advise you on like, look, this what your goals is. This what you trying to do. This how you need to get there. And then I'm gonna advise you on that budget spend and say, look, you need to go get this content creator. And again, that's another part of our service of bringing paid opportunities to, you know, creators. You know what I'm saying? We look at Nano's Hot Chicken. They hit us. We sat down on what, like a Sunday. They said their grand opening was like Tuesday or Wednesday. We had 700 people come out from Delaware to, you know what I'm saying? The line wrapped around the block for 8 hours, 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? That's what people pay for. Then we go up to Binghamton, New York, wherever, never even been there. Same effect. We feed 600 to 700 people, line stupid crazy. Just understanding the playing field. You know what I'm saying? So with in-your-face resources, like our specialty is, you know, connecting people with their target market. You know what I'm saying? And then also, you know, we do representation. So if a person is, you know, they got motion or whatever case be, everybody don't know how to have those conversations. They don't know how to conduct their business. That's cool. Everybody not going to be Jay-Z. That's cool. But you need to have a barrier between you and the people that you need to do business with. You can't just call Meek on the phone and be like, yo, I want to book you. You probably got to talk to a couple people before you get what it is that you want. And in most cases, people are going to respect that because now they got to do whatever your representation say to get what they ultimately want, which is you. So we provide those services as well for, you know, content creators, no photographers, videographers, just bringing them paid work. You know what I'm saying? Circulating that dollar.
I love that. And so would you say, in a way, your niche is specializing in bringing people or marketing to the Black community, like being able to take any sort of business,
Yeah.
and
I
allow
feel
them to
like
connect
Mitch.
with the
What
Black
Mitch say
consumer.
if they selling it,
Yeah.
if they selling, like, you feel me? If they like whatever, like I'm just confident in it because again, like, you know, I'm my own proof of concept because didn't nobody know about Manny215 before I was rapping. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I wasn't going to 923 and at all these parties. And my first cookout was Fire Nation joint. Shout out my man. Oh, he brought me down 10th for Cumberland. Like I probably was like 14 in like 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? That was my first time going to like one of the cookouts and stuff like that down there. Like, so ain't nobody really know me like that, but I was strategic with how I moved once I started doing music. I was on Twitter. Like I would do stuff like this, right? I just understood.
Heavy Twitter fingers. Like,
like I understood like just how things were moving. So I would do stuff like, all right, boom. I just made this love song. So I made a whole separate page called Manny215 promo. And y'all can look it up. It's still up there. And it's thousands and thousands of tweets of me just copying and pasting and adding people. Oh, PNB Rock drop. I'm typing in PNB Rock. And everybody that typed in PNB Rock, I know y'all like love songs. I'm sending y'all my music. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll go down rabbit hole. I'm just hitting all these people. They're going to say Houston, Texas. Like I'm just, oh, they look like they my age. They look like they my age. Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. I'm just hitting them. You feel me? And then I'll do stuff like I had my homies page and now I'm dropping. It's to the point I'm dropping and everybody saying like tweeting like Manny215. I search down my homies page and I'll go retweet 20 tweets on their timeline that say Manny215. So now people that don't even follow me, they like, what is?
Yeah, like, let me see what they got going on.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's just like the origin of, like I said, I'm just like my own proof of concept with it, just understanding. I got so many different stories with it that, you know, I'm grateful to God that he just gave me that intellectual property to understand it. And everybody's strengths is different.
Yeah.
Everybody don't have that. I understand. I got it. Let's work.
If you understand what you got, I understand what I got. Yeah, it's always a valuable partnership when we can be true to ourselves.
For sure.
And
for sure.
I'm gonna get into this conversation with you. It's completely off the base, right?
Let's do it.
You just made me think about. Oftentimes I see you post. I'm very spiritual, right? I'm a Christian. You're a Muslim, and I feel like we need to have this conversation because I think the climate in Philadelphia is like everybody against everybody, men against women, Christians against Muslims,
Man,
Muslims
that's
against
the Black
Christians.
community. Period,
Ooh,
man. We gotta do better.
I'm tired. But just give me your perspective. Like, I know sometimes you post little controversial things, and people be like, "Yo, like you snapping, Manny, like this." And I sometimes I chime in. I be like, "Yo, nah, I'm gonna keep it a bean. That's not what we believe as Christians. Like that's what some people said, but that ain't the truth." But like, give me your take on Islam. Like, all of my viewers aren't Muslim, so they may not know what is Islam.
Yeah.
And your take on Christianity, just from your perspective.
Bismillah and alhamdulillah, salatu wasalam, rasulullah sallallahu.
Now, what does that mean?
So I just basically said in Arabic, and this is a practice that whenever we giving like sincere advice, we make a dua. You know what I'm saying? And in that dua, what I just said was, in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praise is due to God. And I sent salams and prayers upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who it is that, you know, God allowed to be the vessel, the one who we get the teachings of Islam from. So to the first point, it's Islam.
So I've been saying it wrong this whole time too.
No, Islam,
Okay.
tomato. But Islam means, in a nutshell, to submit to the will of God. Muslim, by definition, in a nutshell is one who submits to the will of God. So Islam is our religion to submit to the will of God, and as a person doing that, following those teachers, you're a Muslim, one who's submitting to that will of God. And for me, like my perspective, like I only been Muslim. I took my shower probably like 2019.
Okay.
So I'm like 5 years in it. I grew up like, and it's funny, like I was the one, all my homies to tell you, like, I was the one, man, y'all tripping. I ain't never been Muslim. Like, everybody taking their shot. I'm like, I was just heavy on my Jesus joint, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, the my perspective on Christianity, right, is that when it comes to Islam, the core principles, like the core principles of what the religion teaches are the same, right? Like the core principles of how you're supposed to act as a human being are the same. The line, right? And this is what, you know, drew me to Islam is that I remember being, I probably was like my son age, and my mom always told me, like, you know, say your prayers at night, pray for this person. I'm like, all right. And I remember just being so young, and I don't ask me why I'm thinking as deep as a kid, but I'm thinking like, all right, if my mom and dad made me and they got parents and they got parents and they got parents, you know, and I'm just trying to trace lineage, then I'm like, all right, well, the Bible say Adam was the first human being and Adam and Eve populated the earth. All right, but God made, so who's God's parents? Then who's this parent? Who they parent? Who they parent? Who they parent? Who they parent? I'm trying to trace it back to the source. And then I said, dang, I just submitted early as a kid that like God is this unfathomable being that, you know, even though I can't wrap my mind around really his existence, the reality is we here and somebody created all of this. You get what I'm saying? And I never, ever believed that God was a human being and walked this earth ever. So even growing up in church, I always, Moses, that was a prophet. Abraham was a prophet. Jesus was a prophet. That's how I looked at it. So fast forward to being what I was like, 22? Yeah, I was like 22. And, you know, I'm on a spiritual journey. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking to my cousin Kyan. I'm like, yeah. So we talk. I'm like, yeah, this is what I believe all the religions say the same thing. For like, if you just, you know, be a good person, I don't think God gonna wrong you for that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he recited something from the Quran. He said, Lam yulid wa lam yulad. And that means God is not begot nor begotten. And I was like, it say that in the Quran? He was like, yeah, and he showed me it. And it was significant because the first scripture that I memorized, my mom had me memorize, was John 3:16, where it said that for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. Therefore, whoever believes him shall not perish but have everlasting life. And I never knew what begotten mean. I just was repeating. You know what I'm saying? And during this time when I talked to my cousin Kyan, I had son just had me told me, look up what begotten mean. And it means to father. And I was like, I don't think I don't think nothing is equal, like shares any divinity with God. Cause if to father something, that means you got what I got. You get what I'm saying? I understand we came from Adam. So when he showed me that, I was like, dang. And you know, I took my shot at that moment, but that's the line. I'm saying all that to say that's the line that I see with Christianity and Islam. It's like as thin as the air that's between me and you right now. Is that Christians say Jesus is Lord. Lord translate to God. You know what I'm saying? We say God is God. We say in the name of God. When we pray, we say in the name of God. When we, you know, about to eat, we say in the name of God. We don't pray or do nothing in the name of anybody or anything else. Jesus has a real high rank in Islam. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he's spoken about all over in the Quran. You know what I'm saying? But the one line is just like who we direct our worship to. You know what I'm saying? We don't direct our worship to none of the prophets. Like, we believe in Joseph, we believe in Abraham, we believe in Adam, we believe in Noah, we believe in all of the prophets. We just direct our worship right to God, and that's like the one line between, you know what I'm saying? And that's me saying that from like being like a real like
raised
devout Christian, like really going to church and really studying, really standing on Christian beliefs amongst Muslims, and then actually learning about you get what I'm saying, Islam, and saying like, no, I think that's really what I believe for real, in my heart of hearts. So that's what Islam is. I hope that I answer that for everybody. That's what Islam is. And that's for me what I see, you know,
is the truth.
Like the differences in a perspective. It's a lot of similarities, but that one perspective, like the major joint.
I really wanted you to share this because I think sometimes ignorance is bliss. Ignorance breeds hatred. It breeds contempt. And what happens is some Christian people go, oh, well, and Islam, the Muslims believe this. The woman is not, they treat their woman poor. And then the Muslims be like, oh, well, the Christian people, they just all judge people. And they just, and reality is we are so much more similar than we are different.
I think if more people just understood that, we'd be able to coexist. I can't, like, I'm one of the few Muslims in my family. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of, so, you know, I had to have that conversation with my mom, like, yeah, like, this is what I'm on.
But you know what? The crazy part is, like, even in the Bible, a lot of people don't read. That's the part.
Yeah.
Muslim, Christian,
people don't
Buddhist,
read.
Whatever. They're just going off of what people tell them about a religion. My Bible is in my purse right now, highlighted through, like, tabs, everything. I really study my Bible. I don't just read it to just read or read scriptures and just call it that, right?
That's important.
It is crucial. Comprehension is crucial. And I think, so for me, just to give a little bit of insight on like why I've chosen Christianity, it's very similar to you. I was young and I was like, like, Mom, you tripping. Like, you keep telling me to pray this God bull. Like, I ain't never seen this man before. He ain't say nothing to me. Like, and one day my mom was like, well, can it hurt you to believe? Like, it was a level of pride because of confusion and not wanting to believe my mom, I think. She was just like, if he does exist and you choose not to believe just because, right? And the truth is you would go to hell, right? Like, if he does exist and you choose not to believe and you go to hell, you lose. If he does exist and you do believe and you go to heaven, you good. If he doesn't exist and you choose to believe, it ain't hurt you, right? Like 100%. Either way. And it mind boggled me for some years. Like, I heard it and I understood it, and inside I was like, damn, like, God, maybe he could possibly be real, and I don't want to be condemned. Like, I started to fear God and not know whether I even knew he was real yet, but I just feared, like, yo, if he is, like, he really watching me right now, right?
Yeah.
And I had to be like 8, something, maybe even younger than that. And for years, my mom would still ask me, did you talk to God? And I'm like, he not real. But it was the pride in me. I didn't want to tell her, like, I'm starting to believe. Like, I seen some stuff. I've been through some stuff. And at some point, I got older, maybe 16, 17, and I was going through life. My dad went to prison. My mom was sick. I'm just everywhere. And I think I got into an accident, second, third accident. And I really thought I was going to check this time. And I'm like, yo, like, it ain't nothing but God. Like, I immediately, like, my mind, my words, my body just said, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And from that moment on, it's just been like, yo, I got so much respect. I got so much regard for God and what he wants me to do in my life. I won't even say once, what he tells me to do in my life. Shout out Brother Akbar, James, all of them. Like,
what's the security company?
Don't get me to lie to you. I just know it's Brother Akbar.
Damn, you talking about?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all of them.
Got a boy head?
Yeah, my old head.
Yeah, it's my old head. Heavy Nation Islam.
Yep. It's all love for them too. Every time we come,
shout out to Big Bro, man.
And
definitely love every time we see each other, man.
But so I had a debate with one of the older men on his team, and we were just talking about it. He was like, it just doesn't make sense that God can be Jesus and Jesus can be God. And I said, well, does God make sense? Like, in all reality, like, can you actually fathom what God can do? You can never completely understand God. It comes down to comprehension, I think. But also just where you align with most that can bring you closer to God. I think sometimes people are so focused on religion, they forget you can idolize a religion more than you have a relationship with God. And that's where I came to a conclusion for myself. That's why I can be open with people.
Yeah.
A lot of Christians, a lot of Muslims, a lot of Buddhists, a lot of whatever, they idolize the religion part of it more than they honor God. It's ultimately, even in Christianity, people are like, you're going to hell if you Muslim. In the Bible, it was a woman who washed Jesus' feet and opened a door for him before the Christians opened the door. And God reverted on what he said. And he said, Jesus pleaded with him, God, she had faith. She had so much faith. She gave me the love that you told my people, told our people to give, and they didn't give it to me. She opened the door and he saved her. It was never about, are you Christian or are you Muslim? It was, are you a believer? Are you a believer? Are you walking in my word? Are you walking in my faith? Are you walking in my light?
For context too, man, I want y'all to know some of the Muslims going to hell too.
Facts.
That's a belief of ours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we don't believe just cause you said your shahada that you just automatically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's real work, and again, there's something else that, like, you know,
kind of turned you off of Christianity in a way.
No, not turn me off, but it led me to like continue to embrace Islam, like, and getting in it, learning more about it, and then like continue like to grow in it and not revert from it is practical. You know what I'm saying? Like it's super duper like practical. Like if you do this the results from it. Just be a good person. You know what I'm saying? And whatever it makes sense. Like in Islam, it's not even like a debate. You know, we're not even supposed to like debate it. It's like it is what
like,
it is.
Yeah.
Like
that's why I like this conversation though, because I feel like this conversation is even less to debate about, but just more to be like thought evoking. Yeah, understanding.
Yep.
Insightful on just all ends. And let's talk about O Block a little bit. You keep sliding out there. They told you don't come back. Like, you was like, I don't fear God.
that's the guys, man. Shout out to you know, Munna Duke, man. Shout out to Tay Savage. Shout out Muslim Mad, the whole movement. Sadiq Ali, Munna Ike, man. They really, them brothers out there really pushing peace, man. If y'all mess with my platform and all that stuff I stand for, I think y'all really need to, you know, get your eyes on what's going on in Chicago, because they having real conversation and real motion towards like pushing peace. Like, right, I was at the concert right before Dirk got locked up, and he had Duck on there from 63rd, Lil JoJo, all that. He had all these people on a joint and did a moment of silence for him. And what was interesting to me is that I'm around all these OTF people, O Block people, all that, and then I never heard nobody say, man, he acting crazy. Why he got them up there? Like, it wasn't none of that. Everybody embraced it for what it was. And at that moment, I ain't know, because people was taking pictures and zooming in. I don't really know who's who. I ain't from there, so I don't know who's who on the joint. But once the content came out and the blog started talking about it, I was like, dang, like to be in that moment and not feel no hostility from nobody. Hey, look, Philly, the streets, we gotta take notes. And shout out to what's my man from Detroit, man? Dang, but he just sat down with the fours and the fives. Man. Yeah, dang, I'm sick. I'm forgetting the name, but he just sat down with the fours and the fives from Detroit. I'm talking about they all in a room laughing, squash beef, all that. We gotta take notes, man. Stay street or go corporate. I'm really the choice.
So what you gonna do, Manny? We about to bring the streets on the podcast and squash beef in Philly.
Hey man, hey listen, man. I'm really standing on it. You feel me? So like anybody that's open to it, I'm like, for real, like holla at me.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
I ain't holla at
me. I got people that support what's going on that's willing to stand on it as well. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just gotta be open.
Oh, that just took me back to Phat Geez. Rest in peace, Geez,
rest in peace, man. My brother, man.
I really
man,
respect how you handled that situation. I don't know really went on behind the scenes and all that, but I respect how you handled that situation. And
I give you exclusive on that, because I ain't never talked about this on the platform. Like, long story short, bro he said something. I made a post. He took it one way. I intended that way. We seen each other. We was down there about the rumble and the mash shit. You know what I'm saying? Like out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to Fetty Visuals. Fetty, like our mutual. You know what I'm saying? So Fetty, you know, he was like, no, talking to both of us. And, you know, I went home and I was talking to my wife and she was like, no, babe, like, you gotta look at it. Like, understand your voice in the city and you combating what he's saying, he can look at it in a certain way, even though that's not what you meant. So me and bro was able to, you know, once I looked at it that way, I'm like, dang, like me and bro came back together. We talked like, bro, it ain't even, you feel me? Like we ain't on that, and we muscle. We out of pocket anyway. You know what I'm saying? And we was able to put everything to the side, man. We took the picture, and then it's crazy that the night that he passed away, like literally, like, and it's just significant. Like my wife don't even really be going to the mass shit like that with me, but she was there that night during Ramadan. We was praying, and me and bro had just like, I'm talking about,
was
we
like a day
prayed
before,
with each other.
right?
It was like the picture was probably like 2 days before. But I'm talking about that night. Like we had just prayed in the ranks with each other. After that, like, damn, what's up, bro? What you about doing? Yeah, I'm not going on. I love you, inshallah. I'll see you tomorrow. Next thing I know, like an hour and a half later, my phone ringing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It's a hurt piece. A lot of people don't understand like the trauma behind just seeing it and being around people that you'll never see again. Rest in peace again, Phat Geez.
For sure. And bro was a good soul, man. Yeah. You know, everybody got their issues and their problems, but you know, like bro was a good soul, man. He really just wanted sincere love and for the people that he had love for. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. One day I did run into him when I had the Airbnb and everything at the little gas station. My Airbnb was out like Fishtown, that's what they call it now. Temple over there. And he was just like, it was cold outside. He was just like, yo, I'll pump your gas for you. Like, you good. And it wasn't even on no,
that's bro.
Some thorough stuff,
that's
and I really appreciated that. So always gave him a little pack. I think I gave him a sweatsuit like the next day or something like that. And like, yo, you ain't take no pics in a sweatsuit. Like, he was like, all right, I got you. But we was always ripping and running. But yeah, just rest in peace to him. All love to all the fallen soldiers in Philly. And I'm going to hold Manny accountable to that. He said we bringing the streets on the podcast, and we squash some beat.
Anybody open to it, man, and understand, ain't even if y'all don't want, we living in a certain time, man. Certain stuff gotta be done on camera. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all done did so much dissing and all of that and disrespecting people openly. So the apology gotta be just as loud as the disrespect. But you know, certain conversations do need to be had off camera. But you know, y'all gotta understand, man. It's bigger than what y'all worrying about. Y'all dying at an age that we ain't had to worry about when we was 16, 17, 18, all that.
I just told somebody, like, yo, I really could have been a crash out. Like, I really could have crashed out at a certain point in my life, and I'm so glad I made it past it. But it took for me to be accountable. It took for me to have apologies, and it took for me to just accept situations for what they were.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Manny.
I
appreciate it. Mayor of Philadelphia. I don't know, man. Y'all think he the mayor?
We got 3 years to see what's up.
Love, it's all love. All right, can you do me a quick favor?
My best self today. She told me success come with patience. Discipline is for the strong. The weak too weak-minded to gain. It used to smoke away the pain. Gas I'm smoking on is strong. You can smell it on my teeth and hear my voice is almost gone. I'm in a better mind frame. Now I'm thinking